Hey guys, it's me, Greg again, back with a second video, a little bit of an update of, how things are going, where we're at, what I'm thinking about, all that type of stuff, and I got a shipment in today, some cool stuff, so we can show off a couple of things too later on. But yeah, so last video, I kind of went over, what the goal is, what the dream was, whatever that, and I've talked to people that I know, my girlfriend, and people that have done this, whatever, just trying to get an idea, how things are going, and what the process is like, and, that type of stuff. I've been watching videos and this and that, and I actually have some, good things going so far. First things first is I kind of rebranded. Obviously, the YouTube is now a different name. It's Catskill Collections, TCG. I am up in the Catskill Mountains. I'm up in upstate New York. And I was trying to think of a name. I had Bins Pulls. And a friend was kind of like, that kind of sounds like a ripper shipper. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. It does sound like a ripper shipper. And that's not who I'm trying to be. Not who I'm trying to be associated with. There's nothing wrong with them. I bought from ripper shippers. I support them. But for me, it's not what I'm trying to do. I want to make this sustainable going forward to the future. 10 years from now, who's still selling cards, is it PokeRev? Is it whoever's still selling cards, PokeVault, all the famous guys, they'll probably always have their following for as long as they do this. So I went with a name that I thought pulled in the searcher, whoever's looking for whatever. Catskills are a popular search, so I wanted to have that at the start of the business's name, just to try and maybe pull some more eyes onto the site, onto what we're doing. I haven't gone the trademark route yet. I don't think I'm someone's gonna copy my likeness. I have a beard. That's about it. I have an occasional stutter. Sometimes I mumble. I don't think anyone's going to want to copy that. I know they're not the best qualities in the person to have. But I am human. I'm not perfect. I'm flawed. We're all flawed. And that's kind of the first thing I want to talk about is, being flawed, having fears, all that type of stuff. I am someone who hates how I sound on video. I never like to hear myself talk. Doing this YouTube is terrifying, honestly. How do I look? How do I sound? Things behind me. I'm in a pink room. You do what you got. This is my, this is me. This is what I do. This is who I am. There's no big show. I'm just a guy trying to make a dream come true. But fear, holds you back, right? Fear of starting a business, fear of starting a YouTube, fear of hitting the button, press play and record, right? And fears will hold you back. And one of my biggest things is I don't like to have regrets in life. I'd rather go out and do it and try it. Didn't work out. Fine. I know it didn't work out. I don't have to live with saying, I wish I tried that. I wish I gave it a shot, a real shot. And that's what I'm doing here. I am very serious about this. I've thought about it for, a couple of years now, and it's either time to do it or it's time to stop living that dream. Stop thinking about it, stop dreaming about it, whatever. It's either time to start trying or time to give it up. And, why do we all collect what we collect, or whatever hobby you're in? Someone important to you might have a tie to that hobby or that thing that you do. My grandmother passed away about 6-7 years ago, and she was my best friend. That woman meant everything to me, and when I lost her, I went down a dark road for a while. I cut off people that I talked to and I loved and whatever else, and I never dealt with the feelings of that loss. And I was genuinely a different person at that time. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I broke up with her because I wasn't being fair to her, treating her right, treating myself right. I was in a place where I was no good to anybody, and I needed to get my stuff in order and back on track. Being resilient is something that is very important to me, why I am where I am right now. As a coach, being resilient is huge. As a coach, as a player, as a team, and all being resilient as a person, right? In your life, you're gonna fail, right? Everyone fails. Do you take that and just stop and quit, and never try it ever again, or do you bounce back and try and get better a little bit each day and try and do that over again? That's kind of where we're at right now. I don't want to ever feel like that. So, yeah. So I have looked up trademarks. Not that I need it, but I'm thinking about, the first video I said I wanted to sort of brick and mortar, have my own store or whatever else. That cost, and as I said in that video, that costs money. I'm a teacher, remember? Money does not come easy to teachers. But there's things I could do, like coaching and other things, to try and save and put away and put into, the business, right? Whether it's an LLC or an online business. I think those are the safer routes, if that makes sense. You don't want to buy a spot and put it on rent and all this stuff, and then you lose everything. And it sets you back to a place where you can't recover from, right? That's not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to be smart about this. If it's possible, it's possible. You do it the right way, brick by brick, day by day. Like anything that you do, you cheat the process, it's not going to work. Something will go wrong. You skip a step, something's going to go wrong. As an athlete, as a worker, as a teacher, as a person, again, if you try and cheat and skip through life, it's just not going to work. It won't. You might get there faster and do whatever, this and that, but in the long term, it's not going to be what you want it to be. And it won't be as sustainable as you want it to be, right? So I have looked up trademarks. I've looked up websites, like, that type of stuff, like www dot whatever. I have looked at that. I'm debating about buying it, and so I have it, and it's mine. I've also started to build my own website. It's not easy, but you can watch videos, and people have done it, and they put videos out there for you to watch, this and that. Canva is a huge thing that's free that you can use to help build images or whatever else. That's what I've been using mostly, is Canva. But Wix, Wix, is a free site to make a website. It doesn't cost any money until you want to put money into it. Once you're ready to really sell, that's when you put money into it and start it up for real. But you can make it and have it there until you're ready to start it up, which I think is pretty cool. So you can pretty much make a free website and have it sit there until you're ready to use it, have it go live, and hit that go live button. It's just chilling there, and you can edit it and play around with it. And I think it's actually a pretty cool site to use, honestly. PokeNE, he is someone who makes incredible videos about how to start a business and things to do and this and that. And I've been watching him of late and just taking in knowledge, right? Writing down notes, just trying to be a sponge, right? If it's something that I want to do, you kind of got to study a little bit. How do other people do it? What was best for them? What was their biggest struggles? How to improve, things like that. How to be your own business, though, also is a big thing. And it's scary, right? Everything is scary. When it comes to money and taxes and regulations and whatever else, it's scary. It's scary stuff. But which is why I said, if you go step by step, day by day, learn a little bit more each day, grow a little more each day, do a little bit more for your product, for your business each day, you get to where you want to go. And like I said, never will be easy. Nothing is easy. Nothing in life is worth doing. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's, a little bit of a challenge, right? You don't want it to be easy. easy isn't sustainable. So things like that. But other than that, yeah. Like I said, I've been working on the website page. I've rebranded this YouTube page. I've rebranded the Instagram page. Thank you to everybody who has followed, clicked, supported it all, man. I mean, I'm just a random guy trying to make a dream, and to see the support is really awesome. It really is. The community that the people are in, this community, truly are amazing. You know, everyone has their bad apples, this and that, but everyone's supportive. Everyone wants to help whenever they can, and there's a lot of good people that are out here. So I appreciate all you. You know, like I said, the YouTube, the Instagram is up and going, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's a good start. You know, it's been fun. It's only, you know, the first week or so doing it, but just trying to build up, you know, myself, my rep, just to people see who I am. You know, that's the biggest thing. So today, to show off the graded cards game, there was a new drop, Crimson and Obsidian. I won't lie. The Obsidian is just black. I mean, so as you can see, I don't have an actual regular black one, so maybe it's a little sleeker, but it is what it is. This is the card that it's on, the Mewtwo. It's actually a really cool card. Fun story, I bought this when it was $150. It's not anymore, by the way. And by the way, my girlfriend just walked in and she handed me this really cool cup. Like I said, they hate this, but they support me and love me, so that's great. I don't see a Dragonite on there at all, so yeah, okay. But, so again, the graded guard, the black one, is what it is, I guess. I will say that the Crimson, the red, definitely pops a little more than the black does. And I have it on the Charizard. Shiny Charizard. This is actually my favorite one, probably so far, from this Scarlet and Violet era. I like the red and the black. It kind of gives off like Godzilla vibes, which I'm a huge Godzilla fan too, so yeah. But the graded guards, they feel nice. They definitely look nicer. I'd say the red one definitely looks best. When you compare the two, you know, sleeker for sure. But again, the black, the Obsidian doesn't really do it for me, but it's still nice, I guess. But I'd say the Crimson probably is my favorite one out of them all. I doubt they do this drop again, and because these didn't even sell out. I think like 3 hours after the fact, these were still on site to buy. After the whole queue system and sitting in the queue for an hour and then waiting to go on there. Yeah, I went in there like 2 hours after just to see what was left, and they were still stocked. So these definitely didn't sell like they thought they would probably. I think the cooler color ones are definitely the way to go in the future for them. In general, are they needed? No, but they do. I think they make the cards look cooler. I really do. So yeah. Again, thank you everyone for stopping by, checking us out. You know, I plan to keep on doing these videos and talking to myself or whoever, just so people to see me and who I am, that maybe one day if this stream ever does get going, they can put a face to the site and come see who I am and how I started and what we're all about. So, again, thank you. Everyone have a great day and have a good weekend.